Awesome, thank you.
Everybody just coming in. If I could get your attention, and then make sure that you get a t-shirt and the forms that Laura's handing out back there. There's also sign-up sheets where Jen is standing. All this will make sense to you towards the end of the meeting. But welcome, everybody, and I am going to open us up with a word of prayer because I need it for my mind. So let's just do that. So Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for year number 11 of A Day of Hope down here in South Carolina, and actually year number 2 coming up in Massachusetts, Lord. And I don't know everything about what you're doing, but I know you're doing something. And so I just pray that tonight would go as you have planned it, and we would not forget about anything to cover, and that everybody would understand what this day is about. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Okay, so who has never helped with A Day of Hope before? Like, this is your first time, you haven't? Okay. Well, so I'm just going to share the background of it, and then I'm going to go through every single thing that you're about to do, fill out, and things like that, and the responsibilities for Saturday morning. Everybody knows that the event is here Saturday morning, and I will be sending out another email because of the whole GPS thing, but so it was back in 2014. I had been praying for quite some time about what God wanted me to do. Like, what was I here for? What did he have me in this area for? My husband and I had been working together, a home-based business for, at that time, almost 20 years. And so our time was our own, and so I said, our lives just can't be about ourselves. What is it that you want me to do? And through a lot of different things leading up to one morning during my quiet time, I was actually watching a video, a message that a woman was going into inner cities, and she was providing a word of hope from Scripture, and she was like providing things like bicycles and just different things to these children, like material needs. And I couldn't stop crying, and I didn't know why I was crying, so I started praying about it, and it was like someone put a flyer in front of my face, is all I can explain it as, and it was like a whisper in my ear. You will do this for the homeless and the needy children of Horry County. It will be called A Day of Hope. And on this flyer in front of my face, it was the date of August 15th, 2015, which was that next August. And it was just like pictures, backpacks, school supplies, different things like that. And I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. If this is you, Lord, then please, you got to make it okay with my husband, because I knew, and Norm's up front letting people in, but he always would tell me, Sheila, come on, you have us volunteer for this, and you have us do that, and no more things, right? And I thought he was going to say no. I thought he was going to say, let's not do this. Let's not get involved in one more thing. And when I came out of my office and I said, listen, I really feel like this is what the Lord is saying to do, and it's going to be this back to school, event. But the message of the day is that he has created these children for a plan and a purpose, and that Jesus loves them, and they need to hear that. That is the message. That's what they each need to hear. And Norm said, wow, that sounds really cool. What do we do? And I said, I don't know, because I thought you were going to say no. So I don't know, but let's just see what happens. And I am not kidding you. From that next day on, people were approaching me saying things like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. Where have you been? What are you doing? And, I had been in all these networking meetings in the area for our business, so knowing quite a few people. And they would come up and say things like, my company really wants to do something that makes a difference for our community. Do you have any idea what we could do or get involved in? And I'm like, let me tell you about A Day of Hope. Let me tell you about A Day of Hope. Let me tell you. And ran across this girl that I hadn't seen. Gosh, I'm so hot. Ran across this girl that I hadn't seen for a long time, and she came up and said, what is happening with you these days? What are you doing these days? And I told her, and she said, I'll be your volunteer coordinator. And then the next person we just happened to run into was someone that was with Little River Medical Center, and they said, I will be over all your medical stuff and on your dental stuff. And that's what happened. That's what started happening. Then people started joining and coming on. So we had a slew of volunteers, and then it was like, how am I going to find these children? And at that time, Catholic Charities reached out. I had actually reached out to them about finding some donations for like the supply bags that we were going to do at the time, which was going to include food, because I had no idea. And they said, we want to meet with you about a little bit more than peanut butter. So I sat and met with them, and through that process they said, you need to pre-register the children so that you know where it's going, and so that you know how many supplies you need. And so for 8 years, they did all of our pre-registration, all of it. The issue with that was we never had any information about who was coming, about the households, because that information is confidential. But 3 years ago, they called and said, we can no longer do your registration for you. You're going to have to find a way to do it, because we are changing gears and we're not going to be involved in those kinds of things anymore. So we're out. And I was like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? And then Kay Dovis, who is on our board, was like, I used to do this kind of stuff in my work. She said, I know I can find a form, a program. I can find a form. We can do this kind of registration where they sign up like that online, but they still have in-person appointments where we have a relationship that we build with them and give them a ticket for the day of, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So here we are, year number 11. And it's just been incredible to see what happens every single year when we register these children, and they come and they show up for their appointment time, and they walk through, and they are loved on by us as a team, as a group, all of us. It truly is the community coming together to love on our children and to offer them the hope that and the peace, really, that they are looking for in things that just don't matter. And we offer, what God has provided for them and his son Jesus. And so that is it, kind of in a nutshell, for what a Day of Hope is. So some people would say, oh, it's a backpack drive. Oh, it's a back to school festival. Oh, it's a, celebration of school starting. No, it's not. It's not. It is not at all. It is something completely different than that. And we know, because when we see the changes in these children, you just can't deny what happens when they are loved on and when it's something different and meaningful. So that is the story of that, and there's of course many, many things that happened in that story to kind of hone it into where we are today. But what I would like to do is kind of go through each part, each section, what the paperwork means and things like that. But I want to introduce the board to you first, and the people that are really active as staff members. So, Kay Dobis, please stand up. This is Kay Dobis, and she is over the whole shoe distribution area and everything that happens with getting those shoes on these little children's feet. And then back in the back is Laura Haas. Everybody turn around. Everybody say, hey, Laura. She is our secretary on the board, and she actually helps with the registration table, with, as you see, the paperwork, getting everything done like that, and also making sure that during registration time that the children are registered, pre-registered, and that they're done correctly. And so there's a lot to do with that, admin, and she is our secretary. And then Jen Young is back on that other table. That's Jen, and she's over the whole backpack and hygiene kit distribution area, and anything else we kind of decide to add into that area for the kids to put in their backpacks. But so Jen is over that, so the organization of it, the collecting when the supplies come in, the filling of the backs, getting them here, and all that organizing that takes place with that. Fred Hoffman over here is our official photographer and videographer, and we have on the day of, when they come in, they have either a red wristband or a green wristband, and the red wristband means please don't let me be in any pictures, even the background of any pictures, and Fred knows that. And the green one says we don't mind as a household whether we're in pictures or not. And so that is why we ask you on this confidentiality agreement to please do not take any pictures of the households or the children. That's basically what this agreement is that you understand that their information and their identity is extremely confidential and private. And so we don't take any pictures of the students once the event has happened. If you want to take pictures of the volunteers at your table or the people with you before the event or after the event, that's great, but please leave it up to Fred to take the pictures of everything else. And he does not charge for our pictures if you want copies, and I always put the link on the website and stuff too, so just know that. Let's see. I know that Kathy and Ray, Barbaro, where's Ray? Is he up with? He's with Norm. Okay. So Ray is with my husband Norm, and they are going to be doing the layout of when all the services come to park out here, the services that are provided outside, and then also the setup inside. They have the map knowing where everything goes and all of that, and Kathy is helping them with that as well. So kind of like organizing those kinds of things, but they have a map. Did I leave anyone out on our board or anything? No? Okay. All right. So we're going to go through. I talked about the confidentiality form. Please fill it out. It is super important. And then this form, too. You'll see it is two different copies. It's either this one or this one, but it's the same thing. Please fill this out, one per household, one per family, one per group, or one per person, however you're showing up. If you have children with you or you and your spouse, please fill this out because this information is just for me. It is how we send out our thank you / wrap-up card. So after the event, I put together everything that happened, and so you know what you were a part of, but we want to send that out to you, a thank you card. You don't get on any kind of mailing list for anything else, or we don't sell your information, I promise. So this is just for us. Please fill this out so we know who to send the thank you to. All right, I'm going to walk through kind of each area, and then I have asked the girls to stand up and say a few things about their area, specifically kind of the why behind the what, why we do different things. So when the households come, first of all, they have all been pre-registered. We have 235 children that have been pre-registered for this year. They come from like 100 households, right, Kay? About 100 households. So we have between 25 and 40 children that are going to be coming through every 30 minutes. And that is so that we don't have 300 students coming through all at once and nobody can pay attention to anything. But we have this time that we can actually focus on them. So they will be coming in and parking. The household parking is down on the left. There's a little parking lot, but then also in the front of the school there's those spaces. So the households will get those kind of front row spaces first. All volunteers, please park, go all the way towards the back, towards the tennis courts and the back parking area. If there's no spots back there, then you can park at the church that's right here, right down just a little bit. You just come out of the school, go left, and it's back there. But they've told us that we can use their parking lot for any kind of overflow for volunteers, so feel free to park there as well on Saturday morning. But I need people outside to welcome these cars as they're coming, to say hey to the children. You get these fancy, I have 3 of them, fancy cartoon hands to be animated and to say hey, so that they come and it's a good welcoming atmosphere when they come in. So I need people that are scattered. I think on the sheet I probably put 7 to 10 or something like that, whatever I put. But that's what that means, that section means. You'll be scattered throughout, kind of leading them on. I have signs as well, but I don't want them to know where to go just because of signs. I want them to see people, faces, smiles, and speaking to them, right? So they will park, and then they'll come in the front door. So then I need a couple of people outside the front door, and the people outside the front door will be checking tickets. They all have tickets, either on their phone or they will have it in their hand, and it's actually a sheet of paper. I don't know if I brought it, but it's a sheet of paper like this, and it has the map and their name on it and the time frame that they were registered for. So they'll show you that ticket, or they'll show it to you on your phone. If there's a problem, whoever's at the front door on the outside, if there's a problem, they say they lost their ticket, they can't find it, but they know they're supposed to be here, we have a master list. So I will need you to get Laura in that case, or myself, and we'll have walkie-talkies, so just call us on the walkie-talkie, and we will come with the master list so that we can make sure they're on the master list and get them checked off. We cannot serve anyone that is not registered ahead of time, because the supplies that we have are specifically allocated to those children, and already they have their names on it. So they're saved for those children. We can't give their supplies away. Jen, did you have your hand up? Oh, I thought you were saying something. So the front door, I need a couple people there that are going to, be there and watch that, and then walk them to the registration table, which will be right outside the door of the gym. And so when they come up to that table at registration, that is where they get their household punch card. They will be walking around with the household punch card. This year we're going to have a volunteer that walks around with each household, so that, and Jen will get into this too, so that they don't miss anything that's provided for them. They're going to have vision screening by the Lions Club. They're going to have dental screening outside by the Little River Medical Center. They're going to have CCU's going to be here with fingerprint coupons and talking to them about, the college and different things that are happening. Little River Medical Center will be inside with medical screening. And then we have the foot washing and the shoe area. There's so much that happens, and so that's why we have the punch card. So I need a volunteer that will walk with each household, and we have between 15 and 19 households that are coming through every 30 minutes. So I'll need 15 to 19 volunteers for that time. They'll just keep alternating, coming back in, getting another family, walking them through. The volunteer will be the one that will carry the punch card throughout, speaking with the family and all of that. If you are bilingual, or you know anyone that is bilingual, we always need people that speak Spanish and English, because there's a lot of families that speak Spanish. So please be aware of that as well. But they'll come in, there will be signs, but again, please direct them. Where you're walking through, you will go to the left, and then that is where they will first have their feet washed and get their new shoes and socks. And there will be bleachers that will be open there for people that are waiting. We're not rushing through any of this. And after this meeting, if you are someone that signed up for for a part of that shoe area, either the runners or the foot washers, please stay for like another 15 minutes or so that we can walk you through the details on how to do that. That is such a key area, and there's a lot to it. So we need quite a few people that are in that area. If you don't like feet and you don't like children, you don't have to do the foot washing part. You can be a runner, and you really don't have to spend time with the children. If you don't like children, I don't think that I would recommend you come to this event, or volunteer. But there is a place for you, and I don't want to pigeonhole you into a place. Like people say, "What do I do? What do I do?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you like to do?" Because I want you to do what you feel comfortable doing. So, foot washers, runners, anyone to do with the shoe area, please come and talk to us afterwards so we can walk you through. Then they'll just walk through along the edge, go to all the different things that are provided for them, and they will exit out this back door. And when they exit out the back door, they'll come around to this area, and that is where the mobile dental unit will be. They'll go there first. Then we have BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse. Raise your hands. And amazing, amazing charity. And they share with the children about, they're not alone, and they're there to support them and be with them, and encourage them through so many things. They work with children that are struggling in a lot of different areas. Maybe they're being bullied, or maybe they're having a hard time, and these guys will show up and escort them to school on their bikes, that kind of stuff. And so you don't want to mess with a bunch of bikers. And so it's just incredible, but they love these children, and these children love them. And so they're going to be here. So they're going to go to the dental unit first, and then they can go to BACA, and then they go to let's see, the library won't be. The library will be inside, right? Okay, so they'll go to Mr. Softy will be out there, a fire truck that is from the bank that actually donated our totes to us this year for the shoes. They will be out there so the kids can be on the fire truck, but the purpose of their being there is so that they can share with the older children some of the resources that they have for building your credit, for having an account, like what is out there. These kids don't know a lot of this, so they're going to be sharing that with them. Then Salvation Army is going to be providing lunch for them, and they'll be sitting in the picnic tables here. And his radio is also going to be out there, I believe, outside this year, not live on location kind of a thing, but offering resources that they have for these children to get connected with other children and to have that hope and have that encouragement. So those are some of the things that are going to be provided, and that is why we have them come in, go around, go out the back, no re-entry, because that would just add confusion, right? So then they go out the back. So when you're a volunteer walking with these children all the way through, when you get to the back area and you have done everything except the backpacks, then you can bring them to the lunch, and they can eat lunch. You can sit and talk with them for a while, or you can say, okay, well, this is the kind of the semi-last stop. Here is your punch card, because what they're going to do is the last stop, the very last stop, is the backpack U-Haul. And so, Jen, why don't you talk about the backpack U-Haul, please?
Okay, so the reason that the backpacks have to be last is because we load all of their stuff up into the wagons and we walk them to the carts. And we only have a limited number of wagons. So if you're walking the families, right, they're gonna eat lunch and then just tell them the next stop is backpacks. It always, every year it's confusion over that. Let me see what else. One thing every year I have to reminder, don't use mom and dad if you're talking to the children. A lot of them are not moms and dads, they're guardians or orphanage.
Cousins or group home, yeah.
Yep. And I would bring a raincoat.
Yeah. So I have these handy dandy rain ponchos that we've actually had for 9 years, because we were like, rain or shine, there's no rain date, rain or shine. We haven't had to use them yet. Yeah. You never know, but they will be in here. I have a box of them and they will be in here. They're different colors. So if you don't have a raincoat, you can always wear one of these high-priced fancy ponchos over your stuff. Yeah. But be prepared for any kind of weather.
There's only 2 people signed up to walk through, so I think Saturday morning we'll have to take that group and go over a little more detail.
Definitely. Thank you. Anything else you need to, okay. Thank you, Jen. And another
wagons. If anybody has a wagon, we only have 2.
I have 2 in my car.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you, Tab.
That's 4.
And you have one? Mm-hmm. And somebody else, Joanne had one, you had one? Okay.
Is it the tall one? Yeah.
All right. So there's a few, Jen. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have them. And the reason too is like if they go to the backpacks but they haven't had the other things, then they'll leave their supplies in the wagon, which takes up that space for a wagon, and then someone else comes up and they need to be walked to their car, and then there's nothing available. So it just is more ordered that way. So there's always a reason, there's always a why behind the what, just know that. Okay, do you want to talk about anything to do with the shoe area and like people approaching and what to do and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, what time do the volunteers come?
Volunteers need to be here by 7:30. If you have a lot of setup to do, please be here by like 7:15. If you are able to help to set up, like I know that the Lions Club, David, right? Yes, David with the Lions Club. They have a lot of things to bring in, and then they set up their canopy thing. So they usually need quite a bit of help, and so there's always help that's needed. We will be here tomorrow afternoon setting up quite a bit in the gym and also in here, and so yeah, we need to know who can do that also, but I will be here by 7:30 and I'm going to get to you. Okay, go ahead.
And then the first families are come in at 9. So the first appointment's at 9, the last appointment's at 12:30, but we all stay until the last family or the last household has made it all the way through. So we don't start taking anything down until everybody has gone through.
Yeah.
Because we want to give the last household the same experience that the first household
Yes.
had. So, okay, so shoes. If you're interested in working in the shoe department, there's a couple different jobs that you can do. We have the shoe store, which is where we keep all the shoes. What makes us kind of different from some other events is that we provide the children with shoes and socks, and because we pre-register them, we already know the sizes for all of the kids. And so when they come in, we have a bag of shoes with their name on it ready for them. And so the way that it works is if you are a foot washer, if you want to be a foot washer, your whole focus is going to be on the child that you're talking to. So you're going to be sitting with the child, communicating with him or her, talking about, what are you excited about for school? What do you like to do? Just to really connect with them in any way possible. You don't have to worry about going up to get the shoes. You don't have to worry about any of that. Your focus is on that child. Then each foot washer will have a partner who's a shoe runner. And so that runner is the person who will take the card and see what shoe size they need for that child and then go up to the shoe store. So the only person who ever goes up to the shoe store is the runner. And you get the child's shoes, you take it back, and you give it to the foot washer, who then will put the shoes and socks on the child's foot. So if there's any issue with anything, if the size doesn't fit, anything like that, that's the shoe runner's responsibility to come back to the shoe store and then talk to one of us there and figure out what to do about it. We do not have extra shoes. We just have the one size for each child. And so if the shoe doesn't fit, if it's too big, I encourage them to keep that shoe because they're going to grow into it. If it's too small, we will take a note of that, and if we have extra shoes left over at the end of the day, then we may be able to still get them the size that they need, but we can't promise that. And then we also have a few spots for anyone who wants to change out the water, because we have big cans full of water that needs to be changed out every once in a while. So if there are any guys who want to do that, that's something that you can sign up for as well. And I think that's it. Shoe store, we could use 1 or 2 people to help out there as well, but really, most importantly, we need shoe washers or foot washers and runners.
Just help the families understand that they may need to use their patience a little bit, but we'll get them through and welcome them. And like was said, everybody is pre-registered without fail. Not so much lately, because a lot of these families are returns. We get people who just show up and they have not registered, and like Sheila said, unfortunately, we do not have supplies for them, but I will have a a couple sheets printed up at the front desk where I can say, these are events going on throughout the area, throughout the month that are not related to what we're doing, but where they can get resources for things like shoes and things like that, just to give them somewhere to go without just turning them out with, sorry, have a good day.
Right.
Things like that. So yeah, just we would love to have people up front and help walk them through and keep that part organized so the rest can run smoothly.
Yes, and thank you for that. And also Sarah Wiseman, she couldn't be here tonight, but she will be up at the desk with you as well. And so they'll be giving the punch cards to the households, the bracelets. There's also the tickets, tickets for Mr. Softy. I'm going to put those together. And every station that's on the punch card will get a hole puncher to use for the day. I need them back at the end. All right, so I think that I have gone through mostly everything. There will be a box, this box, I'll set it up on a table in the front. This is the prayer box. So inside or next to it, I'll have these cards, either Day of Hope cards or index cards. And this is for them to, and I'll probably put it near the bleacher, the waiting area for the foot washing, so they can do this while they wait. If there's anyone that wants to stand at this and just actually say, is there anything that we could be praying for you about, or would you like to make a prayer request on a card, please do so here. You can do it anonymously or you can put your name on it, but rest assured they will be prayed over. There's a prayer team that prays over them consistently after the event every single year. Please do that. Please have them fill out a card and put the prayer requests in. They don't have to sign their names. A lot of them choose to sign their names. They don't have to sign their names though, but they put them in this card and then ask, if you're comfortable with praying for people and over people, ask them, would you like for me to pray for you now? And most of them say yes, please. And so it is a very sweet, sweet time to be doing that and to be encouraging them in that way. So there's that area, there's that that opportunity for that as well. And then I think, yeah. So we always need floaters to just walk around, a couple of people to just walk around. Can I get you anything? Do you need anything? Can I help you with anything? Do you have any trash I can take away? That kind of thing, just watching, and being aware of the area. I know the break room will need people to help. Also, just to clean up and stuff, so just poke your head in. Hey, do you need any help with anything? Or go outside. Does anyone need a break? Can I take your spot while you go inside and use the restroom or whatever? Get out of the heat. Please, 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 if you are outside, come in, get a drink of water, alternate with people. It's very hot. It's going to continue to be hot. So we're praying for perfect weather of God's choice. We never know what that's going to be, but that's what we're looking forward to on Saturday. But it's still going to be hot. You're still in the South, and it is August. I don't think that I have anything else that I could add. Norm, do you want to say a few words? Okay. This is Norm. He's the reason why this is happening. I'm the reason why he has no hair.
That's probably true. A couple things. First off, thank you so much for being here. 11 years is pretty amazing. A couple of things when it comes to in here in the break room, and Jay continues to do a great job. This is a break room, so please make it a break room. And by that I mean 15 minutes. Get you a bite to eat, get you something to drink, and then please get back, okay? If you need a little extra time, try to have somebody cover for you. At the Y, we had some professional breakers, and we can't afford to have professional breakers. Okay, so please, we encourage, if you got to take 4 or 5 breaks, that is fine, but please space them out, okay? Next, Saturday is going to be, oh crap.
Are you going to tear up? Are you getting this on camera?
No, he's not. Saturday is going to be like a Christmas to a lot of these kids.
Yeah.
All right? Keep them the focus. Ask them about their summer. Ask them about their school. Don't mention family, because some of them may not be with the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to make it them, not the surrounding people, okay? Love on them. Saturday might be the only thing they get for the whole year.
Yeah.
I'm not crying as much as I have in the past. So.
Wow.
But I just ask that you just really love on these kids, you know, and make it their day, because that's what it is. You guys are awesome. We appreciate y'all so much. But it's not about Sheila, it's not about me, it's not about y'all, okay? First and foremost, it's about our Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior, to show these kids that they are here for a purpose. It's not by mistake, it's not an accident, and that there's a community that loves them no matter what their situation is, wherever they may be. Okay, so I just ask that you just, if you wake up in the morning and you have a bad hair day, put a hat on. If your wife or your husband is not nice or whatever, kick them to the curb. Come in with that smile, please, that attitude of, these kids are your kids for those 45, 50 minutes that they're here. So just love on them and take care of them, okay? I think I'm done.
Thank you. Good job. Okay, does anybody have any questions about anything? Yes.
If we get out, if we're the person that walks around with the family and we get outside and they have to go to the bathroom, you said they can't come back in.
Right, so what I would do is if you are walking around, I would ask them before you even come in, do you need to use the restroom? Because once we're through, you can't come back in.
Okay.
Just if they'll go to the restroom first. Because I know, especially with little kids, they come in and then they'll sit down and then they put their feet into water, warm water, and it's like, oh, I might have to go to the bathroom. So you might want to ask them, and then maybe, you know, before you leave, hey, do you have to go to the bathroom, you know, because we can't come back in. Yeah. Yeah, because it has, I know it seems so horrible, just like having to turn people away, but there is a reason behind it. Number one, it does add so much confusion when people are all of a sudden back in, and it's like, oh, have you been through? Oh, do you have your things? Like, what is happening? And so it just alleviates that confusion. And it's not a festival. You know, they're not here to hang out all day and that kind of thing. As a matter of fact, the playground is closed that day, so it will be zip-tied. The gates will be zip-tied. They cannot go in the playground and play. It's not about that. This is a very purposeful event. They come through, and they're loved on, like Norm was saying, and receive their things, and then they're walked to their car, you know. And but I understand that, so ask them beforehand, hey, I just want you to know that, you know, this is kind of like the chance. Kind of like you're going on a car trip. Got to go before we get in the car, right? So I would say, you know, encourage that ahead of time and before you go outside. Someone else had their hand up. Yes?
I'm with the Salvation Army.
Oh, yes. Awesome. I will show you where you guys are going to park. Yes.
And also, if we can get here early enough, I can drop my trailer and go get your ice.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know how many coolers you need, but we've got plenty of room.
Thank you for that. And I know that there are volunteers that were signing up to help you for Salvation Army if you need help. So, yes, Don and Dana. Someone else have something? I saw a hand. Anyone have any other questions about any of it? Okay, can you think of anything else? All right, well, so Laura?
Yeah, just I was gonna say, make everybody
Yes.
Does anybody else need a t-shirt or paperwork? And we will have t-shirts and paperwork there that morning.
Yep.
So obviously not all the volunteers are here right now, so if you have
Yeah.
other people coming with you, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it Saturday morning.
Yes, and if you are coming with a group or a team, please get their t-shirts for them. Wear your t-shirts to volunteer on Saturday, please. This is your uniform, so wear this t-shirt. That is how we distinguish you between households, guardians, and parents, and also volunteers versus the people that are attending. Someone has, yes?
Wouldn't it make sense to get a couple handicap porta potties out in the parking lot for the kids? Afterwards?
Handicap porta potties?
Big enough that they could win with a parent or whatever?
For them to go in. I would not know how to do that. I think that would have to go through the school, right, to get a porta potty out there. But I could, mention it to them. I know there is nobody here really tomorrow, just volleyball for about an hour, and no other activities on Saturday, but I can look into that. Good idea. Yeah, it's a good thought.
Keep them from trying to get back in.
Yes, that's a good thought. All right, Marie, did you have something else, or were you just pointing that out? All right, well, so anyone who's going to do foot washing or runners, please come up here just for a few minutes. And otherwise, I'm going to close this out in prayer. All right.